Piloting this guided missile, but surrounding these other people who are going to really make the show. To your left, the blue team, we are delighted to welcome Celine Calante back to the game. Celine is a furry writer struggling for attention, or to put it another way, a furry writer. She comes to this convention every year from the deserts of New Mexico to experience things she can't see at home, such as a hotel full of 6-foot animals, and that strange weather where water falls out of the sky. With her is Heath. Heath runs the Furry Improv Games, which are happening tomorrow night, but he was unable to provide us an excuse when I asked him if he could do this panel. Heath, do you think your improv skills are going to assist you tonight?
Possibly.
Okay, that's as good as you can improvise.
Neither confirm nor deny.
And we are delighted to welcome Fox and Moore as a special guest here. Fox and Moore is an unusual furry musician in that he is wildly successful.
Which means I'm not successful at all in real life.
Oh.
He recently released Hashtag in collaboration with Peppa Coyote. They're doing a concert tomorrow night. And he also recorded Dreamcatcher at Abbey Road with the Prague Philharmonic Orchestra or something like that.
It was okay.
It was Currently, he's trying to record a song with lyrics in the ancient Scots Gaelic language, but has had a hard search for a singer because nobody who speaks Scots Gaelic has access to the internet.
How did you know?
Or computers or electricity. I know one phrase.
Do one of the outline actors.
Coes atashe, and that means where are you from? And it's the most pointless question you could ask in Gaelic because the answer's already It came out into the Scottish Highland.
Yes.
On the other side of the room, to my left, we are delighted to welcome back Gail Frostbay, Nexus Gold.
Sorry, I'm autistic with the
Gail
camera.
is one of the founders of Anthony
I'm autistic with my camera.
She runs the Amazing Fur Bowl. Everybody knows her. We're very proud to have her presence and her name recognition in the show. This evening, I promised that we won't be mentioning her height at all. I tried to think up some jokes about it anyway. I tried to think up some jokes about it anyway, but I came up short. It's such a rubbish joke. I regretted putting that down as soon as I started reading it. Just walk out. Next, please welcome Matt Williams. Matt has been the chairman of the UK convention Confuzzle since 2010. He has a PhD in chemistry and was the only person at the first Anthro New England to attend by accident, being in the same hotel for a work conference and having to swap between different costumes for different routes in a kind of Mrs. Doubtfire arrangement. So he's hoping tonight that people can't tell whether he's Matt telling the truth or Matt lying. These are the best jokes of the night, so you might as well get into it. And finally, we have Hyper. Hyper joins us from Canada. This is his first ever convention, and he is left in feet first, landing squarely on them, of course, because he's a cat. He's already hosted 2 panels today, and he's taking part in the 3rd. He's been keeping some of our furries friends at the Canadian Snack Fruit panel. Did you have trouble coming over the border with the Canadian?
No, I haven't. They just waved us through.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm always terrified because when you come out of America to Canada on the road, there's nothing.
Yeah.
You're waved through, and when coming into America, I always feel like one word away from being locked up. But then I'm an immigrant, and that's how things go today.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got 6 furry little liars ready to go. We are going to share some stories with you that are written on the cards in front of our panelists. They don't know what they're going to be reading out. It's either going to be an amazing true story or an amazingly big lie, and then it's up to the opposing team to question them and find out which are fact and which are fiction. So let's find out who we're starting with. If you can pick up my ultra professionally cut cards without giving yourself a paper cut. Anything to share with us?
This one's a bad memory.
Well, what is it, Gil?
All right, so
Just read the title out first, yeah.
I had to help a beginner mascotter after he was sick, and it squirted out of the suit's eyes.
So, let's see. Anything to question?
I have several questions.
I need to process it.
Don't process it too much. People who just have dinner.
I still have to truly process.
So how was he sick then? Was he drunk sick? Or
Well,
was he...
this was a Saturday morning game. I was a mascot in college at University of Vermont. And, yeah, Vermont.
One person?
And unfortunately, Saturday morning games meant that people were out partying on Friday night. And so we had a beginner mascot. This was his first time ever out on duty. And we were just doing a simple event. Generally, you know, you throw them in on the simpler games. In the fall, that's soccer. In the spring, that's generally lacrosse. So we had lacrosse. And he shows up, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna get you situated. So there were 2 mascot costumes at the University of Vermont. So he put on my mascot costume, the one that I always wore, And he's putting it on, and I'm like, okay. So, you know, we're gonna go out there, the particular time stamps that we gotta meet, like, so we're gonna walk around, we're gonna kind of play with the team beginning, and then we're gonna do the national anthem, and then you kind of come back out, and you're gonna interact with the audience. And he's like, yeah, I'm so excited. I'm like, oh, that's great, like, you know, it's great to see such enthusiasm. And he's kind of just like sweating. Like when we haven't moved, we're just literally putting the costume on, he's sweating, and all of a sudden the eyes just start to dilate, and I'm like, all right, this is not gonna be good. So I was like, all right, maybe he's just nervous. So he places the head on. We were the Vermont Catamounts, so it's a big mountain lion costume. Places the head on. The head kind of goes on, it's got a football helmet inside, so he puts it on, we tuck it into the jersey. He's like, ugh. And I'm like, all right, that's not a great sound. Are you okay in there, buddy? Are you okay? Because I'm a senior, this guy's a sophomore. I'm like praying to God that this kid's not just gonna like pass out, because I'm gonna be like, what do I do? We're in the middle of a field, like we weren't in the gym, this is the lacrosse, you're in a field. So he's like, oh, no, I'll be fine. Now, this is all happening in a big shed that's behind the stands. So he's like starting to move out of the shed. He starts to go around the corner. He immediately comes sprinting back, and he's like, I can't do this. I'm like, what's wrong, man? Are you nervous? He's like, and I'm like, that wasn't words. I'm like, all right, still not words. And I'm like, whoa, no. And it's just slow motion, like the whole world froze in that moment. And it's just, and so the eyes are mesh, and the mouth is mesh. But he's like this inside the head, so it's just hitting the inside of the head. And it's orange. It's like straight up bright orange. So I rip the head off of this kid, and I'm like, what did you do? And he's like, I bought Cheetos. I'm like, no! It is 9 a.m. So yeah, he literally threw up an entire bag of Cheetos and whatever he drank last night into the mascot and got it through the eyes.
What happened after that?
What happened afterwards, yeah?
Did he get...
Well, I would have been very, very quick to tell him that he was the fucking worst thing that's ever happened to my life. But I was like, more importantly, in approximately 15 minutes, I need to be on the field.
Oh.
So I was like, you sit. And I ran into the gym. And I was very good friends with the laundry guy, because obviously I have to, every time I wear it, I have to go get it laundered. So I run downstairs, I'm like, Jim, we have a problem, and I need the other suit, and you need to go to the shed. Jim is a big man. There's nothing fast happening in Jim's life. Everything Jim does very much at his own pace, and he hustled. He hustled like no tomorrow. I saw that man move at a pace I've never seen before. and I'm throwing on the other mascot costume. I don't have the right jersey on, I don't have the right pants on, so I run outside. I just run on the field. The coach is like, Molly, what the fuck are you wearing? I'm like, listen. So I run on the field to do the national anthem. We're doing our own thing. My boss and Jim, God bless his soul, hustling out there to get him. And well, he was never welcomed back.
Oh.
So.
All right. What do you think? Do you think this is a truth or a lie?
This is either an amazing story or it's complete bullshit. There's no in between. Yeah. I mean, nervous puke trajectory kind of like
You're speaking from experience.
Yeah. I mean, when you go on the stage with Peppy, you're always nervous. You don't know what's going to happen. It's scary stuff. Yeah, exactly. It doesn't help, trust me.
Yeah. What do you think?
Like, my gut feeling is that it's true, but it also seems like scripted enough with like the mascot stuff that it can also be false. I want it to be true. I do want it to be true.
The one overwhelming impression I got from the last time I played is that I am very bad at this game. So I'm tempted to say, like, I'm buying this. It sounds plausible to me, so it's probably true, which means it's probably not.
So what are you saying? True or false?
I'm gonna, against my, I apologize to the team in advance, but I'm saying true.
Saying true? Okay. Gail, is this true or a lie?
That is so outrageously close to true. But it is false. It is literally, I don't know how you predicted this. It is literally true up until the point that I ripped the head off of him and he projectile vomited onto the shed. I kid you not, it was that close.
Oh, so I made up this story for Gail, but I think this is this close.
That's a good story.
I don't think I'm going to award any points at this stage.
No, that's not fair!
Listen, if throughout this event I ever give the impression that the points matter, I'm doing this wrong.
I just want to let the audience know that I won that one.
You won that one.
Thank you.
Celine.
Look at the fucking furry. It was like, now it's already chunking now. The green part. Yeah.
Okay, so this will be the point where I get to tell you all about the exciting time that I once ran an entire half marathon completely barefoot.
What? You took them on the journey with that sentence because you said completely bare and everyone was going, what?
No, I would have been arrested without the.
If you're running a marathon, the only thing catch you.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a half marathon. I'm not like, an Olympic class athlete. Eventually you get tired. And then,
How plausible does this seem? What do you want to ask?
I'm like honestly just really impressed, or you were wasted.
I think it was just.
I want to know which half marathon.
that was going to be, I'm so bad with time, so I can't tell you what year it was, but I know the marathon, it was the Lost Dutchman half marathon in Arizona, which, by the way, was a complete tourist trap from beginning to end. I'm sorry to all you Wild West fans out there, but Tombstone was the most depressing thing I have ever seen in my life.
Well, that's how it's got its name.
What's like a marathon in like the Arizona desert or something?
Well, it was. Where was it?
They released them to encourage the runners.
Yeah.
Let's just say it was close enough to Tombstone that my family, who is huge Wild West fans, they must have seen the movie like 4 times like that were able to stop by along the way and check out all the saloons and get my picture taken and go to the gift shop and
Perhaps I can ask something. What kind of condition were you in by the end? Did you regret running barefoot?
I very much did. So,
Oh, that sand over your feet. Oh, that's very nice.
actually, you know what? It was worse than that. It was asphalt.
Oh no.
So,
Yeah, no.
here's the story. Like, I, for the record, I've given up on running now
Yeah, I
because
can see why.
Well, if you do too much distance running, just in general, like your knees eventually go bad. It's a very high impact activity. So I did have to retire because I'm like 34 now and my knees just couldn't take it anymore. But at the time, I did a lot of barefoot jogging. It's just, you know, I like the conditioning. Just, you know, I was one of those people like, I probably would have had one of those like weird foot shoes if I could be bothered, but instead I just went without. But normally, I did like, you know, my normal conditioning was like, or my normal workouts were just like 5Ks around like a dirt, you know, a dirt path, which was fine. I can handle those. So I thought, yeah, this is great. I can do a half marathon on asphalt. I just didn't really think to scale the problem up a little and realize like, oh, like maybe, you know, 6 miles in, maybe this wasn't such a good idea. But to answer your question, so the half marathon setup is 13.1 miles, I believe. Yeah. So it's like 6.5 miles out is like a halfway point. You jog out there and then you hit the point and then you turn around and jog back. I was about done halfway through, but at that point I realized like, okay, I'm pretty sure I need medical attention, but the thing about the medical attention is it's back at the starting line. So at that point it says, well, and nothing for it, and I just finished because I mean I was heading that direction anyway. May as well, right? I mean, what was I going to do? What's the difference between like giving up and going back or continuing and going back? Like either way, it's the same road.
Makes sense. In a strange sort of way.
One question I have. Was it like during like a heat wave in Arizona that you just burned your feet?
No. The temperature was actually fine. It was more just the terrain, because asphalt is not a very pleasant feeling thing. Like it's very hard, very rough, very you know, it shredded me up pretty good. But no, there wasn't any heat involved.
Not time to prepare.
So what do you think? Does Celine have the judgment to run a half marathon?
Just if he's
I see shades of head.
concrete, not asphalt.
There is an audience here.
We're having a
Just to
secret
remind you.
discussion.
We don't want to give it away. Well, so what I'm saying is, it's very plausible in the sense that you knew a half marathon very quickly to tell us that it was, but that's...
I'm more so just like amazed that anybody could ever do that.
Yeah, so
especially in Arizona.
if you
Yeah.
said it was on grass, I'd be
Well,
inclined
like
to
half
believe
marathons
it.
have to be, they're on roads, they're on
Yeah.
sidewalks.
If it's
like,
on asphalt,
Yeah, but that was kind of feet pretty good.
I was convinced and became less so.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No.
all right, so I will like kiss your hand if it's true, but we think it's false.
Is it true or is it false?
It is completely true.
Does he have?
Gotta get on your knee.
Do you have Purell? You might want Purell.
Well done.
All right.
This is how.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That's
I'm
insane.
giving you a point.
Was that about losing?
All right. Who are we having next?
Oh, see. Oh, okay.
My great-grandfather was one of the few people in the world to know the secret formula for iron brew.
So further, does everyone know what iron brew is?
Not a
I'm too American for this, I'm sorry.
You've got some
I
with
fucking
this.
love iron
It's
brew.
an orange-coloured drink in Scotland. It's unique in the fact that it's one of the very few countries in the world where this drink is actually more popular than any Coca-Cola product.
Now,
It has an interesting orange ginger ale bubblegummy sort of taste.
now, be careful mentioning orange liquids around Gale.
It was me.
So have you got any iron brew with you?
No, the immigration officers.
No, they didn't dump it. They took it. Like this.
You can usually find it at Walgreens in the international section.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, we've been
And
missing
in Canada
out.
too.
The only other place I've seen it is in Publix, which is like one of the Florida
Okay.
like supermarket things, and they have it there as well.
So my quick question for you is, was your great-grandfather privy to this because he worked for the company, or he was friends with the company, or did he just happen upon this?
He was in the army in the Argylls, which is a west coast section of the army in Scotland, and he served with one of the original founders of the company.
And the company is.
Iron Brew.
It's bar, B-A-R-R. But everyone just calls it Iron Brew. No one knows the company.
There's bar Iron Brew, there's bar Red Cola, there's bar Normal Cola. bar is
They only
like
make Iron Brew, right?
Bar, no
Iron Brew is the only thing that
I
sells.
think one died bar.
One day.
Bar is shit. Iron Brew's the only thing that's good about it.
Difficult question.
They're working on titanium.
So I'm just trying to place the time scale.
Oh, yeah. So why did they call it Iron Brew anyway? Was it made out of iron?
It's just a coloration.
Yeah,
it looks like rusty water.
It's the coloration, and some people actually said when they tasted it on the original formulas there was a metallic taste.
And it looks like rust.
It looks like it does.
Rusty water. Yeah.
So I'm trying to
I'd
place the
take it
time scale.
passes rusty
I'm
water.
not sure how long that drink is.
Try on Google.
Way more
That's
new
cheating.
than America.
My question, not to change teams or anything. Just about Iron Brew. What happened to the O?
I can tell you about the EW is because it was called Iron Brew, as you would sanely spell it. But someone in the government said you can't call this a brew because it isn't actually brew. So they respelled it Iron Brew.
Yeah. I think it's plausible, right?
It's so plausible, and I know literally. That's fair. I already did a lot. I know jack
Yeah.
shit about anything.
The only thing
I don't know anything
Well-
about iron.
So
I will say
it does have a
I
secret.
will say he never told me anything about it.
So it does have a secret formula.
There is a secret.
Not many
formula.
people know what it is.
Only the founding people and the people, a select few people that work for the company. Most of whom are dead now, including
And
my
the
great
people who someone blabbed
Alright, but we also have to weigh in the fact that David's really good at writing these because he knows us really well. Like this was false, but literally true up until one point.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm really indecisive. What do you think?
That'd be so.
I'm
It's gotta be a dirt.
It is a Scottish drink, but
And
And I think because it's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's no knowledge that you can put to this one. This is either true
Yeah,
or complete bullshit.
that's really the point of the game.
Yeah, I reckon.
it's like great grandfather invented haggis.
Yeah. So I'm
Oh,
inclined
he
to.
likes haggis. as
I'm
well.
inclined to believe that it is based in truth, but not true. Yeah, like yours.
Alright.
Okay,
Like
tell
yours,
us
I
what.
reckon
Is it true or false?
It is indeed false.
But look, I really thought you did have them.
Which is better?
That was an amazing one, my
Yeah.
God. You had me
In your bag.
as my great
Pick up the bag. Bag on table.
Now, to be fair, as I said before, I'm very bad at this game.
Put
You
the bag
completely
on
had
the
me.
table.
There actually was some truth to it.
That's
He
okay.
had
That's
the
fine.
Argylls.
All right, let's see. What did I get?
Do it.
Yep. This was a while ago. I once had to call the emergency services to free someone trapped in a red post box.
Take it any way you like.
Describe the post box.
A fair question. So, Fox, you'll probably remember these. About 8 foot tall.
Yep.
About 1.5 foot wide. Cylindrical red tube, basically. Stuffed in the ground with a door on the front and a slot in the top. Letters go in, open the door, take the stuff out.
And a secret compartment underneath that takes you to the Men in Black headquarters.
MI5.
Yeah. Look, that goes under the Atlantic Ocean. That's
Actually,
all
no,
right.
it's Danger Mouse. Danger Mouse and Penrose who live at the bottom. But
Never
more
really get it.
importantly, when I went to secondary school, there was a red post box by the bus stop where I was going to school every day. As in many small villages, one post box. And we kids had figured out that they didn't have a real key to open them. If you got a pen, jammed it in the keyhole, you could open the post box. One of my less trustworthy school companions assisted one of my other school companions into the post box.
So you happened upon a person in the post box.
No.
Premeditated.
For the record, I was not involved in the killing of the post box.
Thank you for the disclaimer there.
To my error, it was me that figured out that you could open the post box. I have a logical mind, hence. But it was unwise to share that learning with my classmates as they put someone in the post box. And then left them there. School bus coming down the road, and we're like, okay, maybe we should let them out now. Pen, snap.
Oh.
This is a problem.
You're so British about that.
Yeah. Well,
Oh dear.
more accurately, kid who put them in and was now trying to let them out, gone.
Oh.
Guess they're not going to school today. And how do we get them out of postbox? So, yep. Following that, in the red phone box, which is next to
Everything is red.
yeah. Well, it's because it's Royal Mail and previously the. So red phone box. Called the fire service and they came and rather irritatedly released this school child from the post box.
So what did they do?
Well, it turns out.
You're responsible, friend Gail.
Turns out the Turns out that the fire service have access to somewhat more sophisticated things than pens, including angle grinders and the big cutting things, and they can open a post box.
Did they have to repair the post box afterwards? Was it in like a usable form afterwards?
I think it needed a new door.
See, if this was
The
me,
post box was in
I would
cast iron. It was there for years afterwards.
I would have just left them in there and then watched the reaction of people who were putting stuff in the box. As soon as they put something in, someone in there goes, ow.
You know, I'm glad I didn't grow up with you.
This is Scotland, okay.
What do you think of the likelihood of this story?
I'm just so engrossed in the story, I wasn't even thinking about it.
It's theoretical.
It's almost.
He needs trapped by it in there. Because
It's almost too British not to have.
this is why we need James Bond to save this.
I might have to hurry you. We're a bit.
Is it really called emergency services?
Yes.
The services for emergency, yes.
Yeah.
You're the one who, like, is
Well, in
I guess
fairness, I only
schematics
pulled
of a
one.
post box. Are there any factual errors in like that's not how
Somebody,
it
I think
works?
it will happen.
Okay. I'm gonna trust you on this because you know more about post boxes.
Oh, in other words,
So,
if
like,
it's wrong,
really
you can
bad.
blame
Oh,
me.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's
Exactly.
what we did with him for you, so it's fair.
Like this even exchange.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
What is
saying
it?
false, so I'm agreeing.
False.
Say false.
Bullshit.
It's bullshit.
I too totally believe it.
What's the exchange rate on that bullshit?
With Brexit, fucking nothing.
Dirt.
All right. Well done, Matt.
You did.
No, I'll take it.
What? Don't. Wrong side.
No, sorry.
Hey.
I did this last year as well because I haven't practiced doing the scores and my
Dude, you're supposed to be smart. We're supposed to be helping each other, right? There we go.
All right. Okay. It's Hyper's turn.
Okay, so a friend of mine, or excuse me, a friend and I narrowly escaped an Airbnb after the owner insisted on selling her house to us.
How did you even start?
Where were you?
This happened in Guelph, Ontario, Canada, where I'm from.
Why are you staying in an Airbnb where you're from?
Where you're from?
Well,
You're not on their team.
Sometimes I have to pull a fantasy back out.
basically what had happened was because we were spraying for rodents.
Oh, okay.
At my place, so I had to stay somewhere. And me and my friend shared the house, so we went to this Airbnb. It went right downhill after we set foot in the house. Basically, taking a tour, she had one room that was decorated like in like natives, like in like a native Indian sort of theme, and she was saying, this room is to remind people about the oppressiveness of white men, what they did to the natives. Then,
Was she Native American herself?
I don't think she was. The next room was, for God only knows, a Japanese themed room. I don't know if she was like, into like Japanese stuff or just decorated it for the hell of it.
Was she under a black cloak the whole time? You just
No,
How old was this lady and how many cats did she have?
She'd probably be in her maybe 45, 60 years old.
It's
So
a
then the
pretty
next
large
room-
range. So.
Next room was the writer's room. Like, there was writing on the wall. Like, it was like something you'd seen like from some horrible